The snow had filled in our tracks behind us, but not the third set. 2 pairs of boot prints went into that stand of black spruce.
But when we turned around, there were 3 sets coming back out.
The third set was barefoot. They ran between our prints so neatly that in places the toes had stepped inside the holes left by our boots.
Harlan saw them first.
He stopped breathing for a second, and I remember that because the forest went so quiet.
Then, somewhere behind the spruce, my own voice called out,
"Just clear enough to say, Harlan, don't let him turn around." That was in January of 2003 in the Mount Rogers National Recreation Area. I was 38 years old then, still wearing the green and gray.
Still pretending the worst things in those mountains had explanations if you waited long enough for daylight.
The trouble that year started with the horses.
A local woman named Mara Ellison found one standing in the middle of the access road before dawn. It just stood there, shaking, ice hanging from its mane, staring uphill. When she eased around it, she saw its eyes were bleeding.
The pony had been covered in handprints.
Long, pale marks pressed into the frost along its ribs and neck. 2 days later, a pair of Appalachian Trail section hikers came into the ranger contact station near dusk. They said the trail kept returning them to the same clearing. They argued in front of me. Cold faces, cracked lips, eyes watering from windburn. The next morning, we went up to check it. We found the clearing near the edge of the spruce line above Big Wilson Creek. We found the dead pony. That would have been the end of it, if Colin had not found the pack. It was wedged beneath a spruce about 40 yards from the clearing. A blue internal frame backpack, stiff with ice. We spread out in a loose line, calling his name. The first time someone answered, I thought it was Colin. "Sutter," the voice called. I heard my mother's voice calling my childhood name. She'd been dead for 6 years, but it sounded so real. I just froze right there in the snow. Harlan grabbed my collar and yanked me forward. He told me not to answer it. That was the first time I realized he knew something. We found Sutter sitting on a rock by the stream. He was barely alive, just staring into the trees. He had his fingers to his lips like he was trying to stay quiet. I leaned in close and he whispered to me. He said it walks back in your steps. Then he told me not to make any new ones. I looked through the photos from his camera. The last 6 were just wrong. Every photo had more tracks than the one before it. Then I saw it in the center of the last photo. 2 bare footprints facing right toward him. It was like something was waiting for him. Mara came to see me at the station. She said her grandfather called it the step taker. She told me it learns your stride and your sound. She told me about her brother. He always shoveled his path in zigzags after that. He left bare footprints leading to his shed, but none going back. I went to Harlan's house that night. He told me about a search back in '86. They followed the wrong tracks, and the boy went deeper into the woods. Harlan said files are for people who don't understand. He knew the truth was something you couldn't put in a report. We both knew we were carrying a secret that couldn't be explained. Colin was young and hungry for real answers. He told me he was going back up to the clearing alone. I tried to talk him out of it, but he wouldn't listen. By noon, the weather just fell apart. Radio contact with Colin turned into nothing but static. Then I heard it. Just slow, heavy breathing on the line. Colin said he could see the station? That made no sense. There wasn't any building out there. He kept saying the lights were on.
We organized a search party before anyone officially approved it.
Mara tied red tape to every third tree.
She said it was so the mountain couldn't count us clean.
We reached a clearing just as the sun was going down. Colin's tracks just stopped in the middle of the snow. There wasn't a single sign of a struggle.
Then the radio on my shoulder clicked.
Colin whispered that it was wearing all of us.
Harlan threw the radio into the snow, but it kept talking.
Bare footprints started right where Colin's tracks ended.
We followed them into the thick of the spruce trees.
The forest started changing in ways that didn't make any sense. Then we heard it, the sound of someone shoveling. We found a path cut through the snow, zigzagging between the trees. Hanging from a branch was an old feed sack with Colin's radio inside. Rusk said that was enough and we needed to leave. But when we turned around, the path was just gone.
The snow behind us was completely unbroken. Then Beck heard his daughter calling to him from the woods.
He took 3 steps off the line, and that was it. His headlamp just dropped into the snow and he was gone. Harlan grabbed my sleeve and pulled me close. He told me to step exactly where he stepped.
We moved out in a single line, Harlan leading the way. The voices started moving all around us.
I heard my mother, then Colin, then Beck.
Then my own voice spoke from behind, giving calm instructions. Mara looked at Harlan's back for a second.
Her boot missed his print and hit the clean snow.
A bare footprint appeared right beside her boot.
Mara looked at me with a strange, tired recognition.
She said, "Don't make new ones," and stepped back into the track.
The forest exhaled a warm breath that smelled of wet earth. We found Colin standing in the middle of the trail.
His coat was open and he looked frozen.
It was like an invisible hand had been resting on his head.
Colin pointed toward the open ridge beyond the trees.
I saw the old ranger station with yellow windows glowing.
It was a building that had been torn down decades ago.
Colin turned around and his face looked almost right.
His mouth opened and my mother's voice came out. He smiled with only the left side of his mouth. Harlan shoved Colin sideways into the trees.
The forest screamed with every branch and root.
The sound drove me to my knees in the snow.
We dragged Colin and Rusk out of Wicken. I remember the snow glowing blue under the evening light.
We reached the road, but Harlan did not come with us. Every January, I take that photograph from the box.
I tell myself I am checking for damage.
But now, a fresh set of boot prints is walking me home. The search for Harlan lasted 3 days.
They never found a body.
It was all written off as a tragic accident. I just nodded along in those meetings. I learned to talk like everything was normal.
But I kept one thing. It was a Polaroid found in Colin's pocket. He didn't even have a camera.
The photo shows the old station in the snow. The windows are lit up.
There are figures inside, blurred by the frost. And there's Harlan, right in the front. He's barefoot in the picture. His eyes are closed. His hands are pressed against the glass.
Every January, I take that photo out.
I tell myself I'm just checking for damage. But the truth is, I'm counting.
There were 7 figures at first.
Then 9, then 12.
Last winter, I counted 13.
I counted again this morning.
There are still 13 figures in the windows.
But now there's a fresh set of boot prints.
They match my own boots exactly.
And right beside them, something barefoot. It's walking me home.
I can't outrun the path I've made.
The wind sounds like the trees again. I think I see a shadow on the porch. It's just a barefoot.
I don't move. I just wait.
The house is so quiet,
But the air feels heavy.
the forest has finally reached me. I can hear footsteps on the porch.
I close my eyes.
The door slides open.
It smells like wet earth and old leaves.
It's time to walk back into the trees. I stand up from my desk, the floorboards cold beneath my feet.
The door is wide open now, and the forest air is rushing in.
I don't reach for my coat or my radio, because I know those things don't matter anymore. I step onto the porch, the wood groaning under my weight. The snow is already piling up against the threshold.
My own tracks are waiting for me, leading back into the dark.
I walk toward the tree line, my boots crunching in the frozen crust. Every step feels heavier than the last, as if the mountain is pulling me down. I don't look back at the house, because I know it's already gone. The spruce trees close in around me, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out. I can hear the wind whispering through the needles, but it sounds like voices now.
They're calling my name over and over from every direction.
I stop and look down at the snow. There, beside my own boot prints, is a single, bare footprint. It's deep and patient, and it's facing the same way I am. I know then that I'm not alone anymore. I keep walking, but the path ahead is changing. The trees are shifting, and the trail I thought I knew is leading me deeper into the spruce. I can see the faint glow of lights ahead, like the station I saw in the photograph. The station is there, just like in the picture. The windows are glowing with a warm, inviting light, and I can smell coffee and wood smoke. It feels like safety, but I know it's just another trap. I see figures in the windows, all of them facing out. They are blurred by the frost, but I recognize them. Harlan is there, his hands pressed against the glass. He looks tired, and his eyes are closed. The door opens, and the warm light spills out onto the snow. I can hear voices from inside, calling my name, but they don't sound like the people I knew. They sound like something else, something that's been waiting for me. I take one last step, and the snow fills with footprints. Hundreds of them, all bare, all facing me. I don't fight it anymore. I just walk into the light, and the forest closes behind me, quiet and patient. I'm standing right at the edge of the station. The warmth from inside is hitting my face, but those bare footprints lead right into the dock. The door just slammed shut behind me. It smells like old earth and damp wood in here. I think I'm trapped. There are people standing in the corner. They aren't moving at all. I can hear them breathing together. Wait, that's Harlan? His eyes are closed tight. He doesn't even know I'm here. I tried to grab his shoulder. My hand just went right through him. Everything is starting to fade away. The forest is back, but it's different. The snow is glowing with this weird blue light. I can hear them calling my name everywhere. I'm trying to run, but the snow is so deep. I look down and see footprints everywhere. They're all around me now. I look up at the sky. Those stars don't look like anything I know. I don't think I'm ever going home. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. The cold doesn't even hurt anymore.
It's finally quiet.
The snow is starting to cover me up. I'm gonna be part of this mountain now. I'm not even scared. The snow keeps falling, burying me deeper.
It feels like the mountain is finally claiming me.
I'm not fighting it anymore. Wait, I hear a door. It's that station again. How is it still standing here? They're coming out of the station. Their feet are bare in this freezing cold. I can't even make a sound. Harlan? Is that really you? He's leaning down like he's gonna talk. He feels so warm, like a furnace. I can't hear him, but I hear everything else. The voices are screaming in my head. The trees are moving. They're twisting around. They're not ghosts. They're memories. I see myself in their eyes. I'm just another piece of this place now. I have to get up. I have to move. The door is wide open now. It looks so warm inside. So safe. Just a few more feet. My hands are numb, but I can't stop. They're just watching me crawl. This is it. The last look. The forest is going dark again. Goodbye to everything I ever knew. The door is closed. It's so quiet in here. I'm finally home. The air in here smells like coffee and old wool. It's a weird kind of comfort that just doesn't belong on this mountain. I'm not alone in here. I'm looking for the handle, but there's nothing there. The door's just gone. They're moving closer, and I can't hear a single footstep. That's back. But his eyes, they're completely empty. They aren't waiting for help. They're waiting for me. I'm trying to think of the sun, but it's slipping away. The cold's getting inside my bones now. The whole building is breathing with the mountain. What's that tapping on the glass? Oh, God. There's footprints walking up the window. They're all watching it. This place isn't a shelter. It's a cage. My photo? It's changing. There's more of them in the window now. I'm fading away. Can you hear that sound? I don't have much time left. There's the handle. I gotta get out of here. They're grabbing me. They won't let go. It's just white. I'm falling. Is that my own voice calling me? Everything's quiet again. The station is gone. And now there's just one more set of prints. I wake up in the snow, the silence pressing down on me. My lungs burn with every freezing breath I take. I try to stand, but my legs feel like they don't belong to me anymore. I look down at the snow, and there they are, my own boot prints. And right beside them, the bare ones. They're pacing me, matching my rhythm with a terrifying precision. I start to walk, forcing one foot in front of the other. I don't want to give it a pattern to learn. Every time I stop, I hear the crunch of snow behind me. The trees seem to lean in closer, like skeletal fingers. I can hear voices now, the voices of everyone lost here. They're whispering my name, calling me to just let go. I reach into my pocket and pull out the Polaroid. There are 14 figures in the window now? The 14th one is me. I drop the photo and it lands face down in the snow. I don't look back. I just keep walking. The forest is getting darker, like the end of everything. Then I see it. The station. It's standing there in the middle of the clearing. The windows are glowing with a warm, inviting light.
I take a step toward it, and my boot hits the snow.
I don't feel the cold, just a strange, humming vibration. I see the bare footprints again, leading right up to the door.
I reach for the door handle, and it's cold, so cold it burns.
I turn it, and the door swings open. Inside, they're all there, looking at me. I step inside, and the door closes behind me. The forest is gone. The snow is gone. I am home now, and I will never have to walk alone again.